Welcome to Allocative Inefficiency, a documentary about allocative inefficiency. Only from the heart can you touch the sky.
The market has failed. It has not allocated its resources efficiently, resulting in allocative inefficiency. Too much or too little of the good or service has been produced. In this episode of Allocative Inefficiency, we will learn about consumption externalities, which come from the consumption of a good or service. We will learn together about some examples, how to correct them, and even some evaluation.
Start! Market failure is the failure of the market to allocate resources efficiently. One of the most important issues of market failure is externalities. There are two types of externalities, production and consumption, and both of them have two different types, one being positive, one being negative.
Positive consumption externality is a kind of positive externality, and it's caused by consumption or consuming a good. When there's a positive consumption externality, there are external benefits for the society. That means the marginal society benefits is greater than the marginal private benefits, and therefore there's an under-provision of resources.
We are very fortunate to have Joe, an economist who is in hiding, and thus we must not show him on screen.
Vale. La externalidad positiva del consumo. ¿Qué es? Pero yo voy a...
So there are some different types of positive externalities. Let me give some examples. For example, one example would be education. The other would be healthcare and similar vaccination-like things. For example, if you get vaccinated, then there's a lower chance for you to spread it to other people, and therefore society as a whole is more productive and better off than it would if people don't have vaccinations. Merit goods are also an example. They have positive externalities, and they're underprovided by the market because of their positive externalities. Some people cannot afford it, and in general, consumer ignorance. These factors make merit goods underprovided.
Mr. Hung is an expert in Chinese and economics, and we are pleased to have him in our show.
为了补助这些所谓的问题，我们有4种方法。
There are 4 main ways to fix positive consumption externalities. The first way is through government legislation, which can be used to promote greater consumption of goods with these externalities, such as making education compulsory up to a certain age. The second way is through direct government provision, so the government can directly provide some goods and services, such as education or healthcare, which are also merit goods, to increase consumption. A third way is through subsidies. So by lowering the production costs, the price falls and consumers can consume more of it. The last way is through advertising, to persuade consumers to buy more of these goods.
广告的方式来解决这个问题，让广告来增加人们对这个产品的喜欢，然后拿得多一点。Negative consumption externalities are external costs that are created by consumers. An example of this would be smokers. Smoking would be a negative consumption externality because the external costs they spill over to the society that are caused by smokers.
So some other negative externalities of consumption include party. When you party late at night, let's say 1 a.m., you start playing loud music. And then this loud music will affect the neighbors, and they will get annoyed at you. Maybe someday they're going to come and kill you. Another example is when everyone out there drive cars, fuel and exhaust is produced, and this exhaust contributes to pollution, which will affect everyone else, even if you don't drive. For example, if I don't drive, but like my neighbor drives, and everyone else around me drives, I'm still going to breathe in this pollution. So these are just some other examples of negative consumption externalities that you should probably know. David, you like cigarettes, correct? You realize they're bad for you? They're bad for the environment. They're bad for everyone.
Okay.
They're bad for everyone.
Okay.
It's a demerit good. I bet you don't even know what that means, so here I'm going to tell you. Demerit goods are goods that are undesirable for people like you or any consumers, and they're over-provided by the market, just like that cigarette there.
So,
Alcohol is too, gambling is too. It not only affects you, but it affects everyone else. So basically you're killing everyone, and I think you really should stop.
You got a prescription for that?
yes, I've got one.
Well,
It's totally illegal, bro.
the market over-allocates the resources to produce that cigarette, and you're just ignorant of its negative effects. So I think you really need to stop.
Oh, man. Ow. Ow.
I swear to God,
What
I
the
will
what
slash
the-
your head
what-
off and
what
feed
the-
it to your parents
No.
if you don't stop
Give me
smoking.
back my joint.
You start.
I start?
Yep, you start.
Okay. One of the ways to connect. One of the ways to correct negative consumption externalities is using tax. But there are problems involving whether who should be taxed, consumers or producers. Another problem with taxing would be that you don't know how much to tax. You don't know how much external costs are spillover, so you don't know how much taxes you put on. And there's one good thing about tax though, is that when you tax somebody else has to pay more money in order to obtain the good. So there's an incentive for the consumers to change their consumption methods or to switch into another product.
And don't taxes internalize the externality and make the extra cost paid for?
Yes.
So also advertising works to an extent because it helps people learn about why they should stop consuming this consumption externality good. And however, they also come with, like, when you have a campaign, you want to have to pay money to the advertising company to set up this campaign. And there are also government regulations that work really effectively because you can effectively just limit something. So a company, well, a government can just say no smoking anymore, and so no one can smoke. However, not every externality can be corrected through regulation. You can't just instantly ban all cars and say only electric cars could work, because that would affect the market and the economy in such a great way. It's kind of really hard to determine what would happen to the economy after you do that.
So you have to phase it out slowly.
Yeah, so you could begin by saying, if you have a really, really polluting car, then you're required to go get a new part that could help it stop polluting as much. Thank you.
Can you stop